Welcome to my stay-at-home workout. Today we're going to get into one of my favorite hip hinge exercises, which is an awesome deadlift variation that you can do at home with minimal equipment. And we're going to do a couple of other awesome muscle building exercises as well. Before we get into that, let me show you what equipment I'm working with. Hopefully you have something similar. For my weight, I just have a 10-pound ball. You can absolutely use a dumbbell or a kettlebell or some kind of household object. And then I have a resistance band about a ½ inch in width here. Also today, if you do have this, it's optional, but it's nice to have. I've got another little resistance band, like a lower body band that's going to go around the legs that I'm going to incorporate for one particular exercise. But once again, if you don't have this or if you don't have any of this equipment, not really that big of a deal, okay? You can always sub stuff in. Alright, so before I get started, I always begin with some core bracing. So we want to make sure the core is braced 360 degrees around the spine. We want to hit the obliques, we want to hit the frontal abs and the deeper abs, as well to make sure that we're ready before we hit those bigger lifts. So a couple different exercises today. One's going to be a side plank. We're going to do a little bit of an advanced variation with a knee drive. And then the other one's just going to be classic forearm plank. We're going to hold, basically we're going to do 10 knee drives on each side. And for the forearm plank, we're going to hold for 20 seconds. And I'll show you how all that's going to work. So for the side plank, it's going to be from the elbow. The upper arm's going to be straight up and down, shoulders stacked over elbow. Basically, we're going to be bridging up with the hips, and we're going to be a nice straight line from the bottom of that foot through the top of the head. Now, I'm just going to be supported by my top leg because I'm doing this more advanced variation, but if you like, you can absolutely do just a classic side plank with the ankle stacked, or even ankle strided with that top leg forward. Helps with balance a little bit, makes things a little bit easier. Totally recommend that if you're not used to side planks. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bridge up at the hips, nice straight line. I got my rib cage down. I'm squeezing in with this elbow here towards my body to keep this area nice and tight. My thighs are parallel, this knee's bent, and now with those knee drives, 1, 2, just like that, 3, 4, 5, don't want to lose that straight line, 6, keep that neutral spine, 7, 8, 9, and 10. From here, I'm actually just going to roll right into classic forearm plank. I want to make sure my butt's not sticking up in the air. I want my back to be nice and flat like a tabletop. Not let that midsection sag. I want a nice straight line to the top of my head. Keeping tight throughout the body. Shoulder blades protracted forward, but away from my ears, so I'm not shrugging. I'm just holding this for 20 seconds, so we're already more than halfway. Back, you want nice and flat. Okay, from here we're going to roll in a side plank on the other side. So once again, we're from the elbow, just supported by that top leg. Nice straight line to the top of the head, squeezing in here, staying tight, driving that knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax. So we're going to go through that circuit one more time in about 20 or 30 seconds from now, and then from there we'll jump right into that deadlift variation and the couple of other exercises I've got for you today as well. So with this side plank, once again, you can do any variation that you like. This is one of the more advanced. If you did an easier one last time and it felt like you could handle a little more, why not upgrade it to the next variation? What I like about the knee drive is you get a little bit of basically inner thigh and hip work in there too. The little muscles that we call adductors, which we don't often find ways to work. So that's kind of why I really like this exercise, because it's great for those. They often get neglected. Okay, so we're going to bridge up like so. Ribs down, core tight, knee drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From here, rolling right into that classic forearm plank. Don't let the head droop. Don't let the midsection sag. Shoulder blades protracted forward. Nice, tight, straight line to the top of the head. We're holding this for approximately 20 seconds. If you're timing yourself, then go for exactly 20 seconds. I'm just kind of estimating here since I'm talking a lot. A few more seconds. Staying tight. Going to roll in a side plank on the other side now, all right? From the elbow once again, supported by that top leg. It helps to point the toe on that supporting foot for added tightness, all right? Going to drive that knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. All right. Now we're all nicely braced and ready to go. I'm gonna grab a little sip of water, and I'll explain to you how today's gonna work. So, working on muscle building, so our volume's gonna be a little bit less. We're gonna be doing sets of 8, but we're gonna be adding things that aren't weight, in case you don't have a lot of weights laying around the house like me. We're gonna add other weights to increase the intensity. So we're gonna play with tempo and stance. We're gonna do some one limb stuff. It's gonna be fun and interesting. So my first one, and if you've been watching these videos, you may have seen me do this one before because it is my favorite Roman deadlift variation to do at home. Basically, I'm doing a Roman deadlift both with a band for resistance and the weight. So how are you gonna set this up if you got a band like me? You're gonna stand on this band, basically standing on both sides of the band. Your stance is gonna be a normal deadlift stance, which should be fairly narrow, maybe a little bit inside shoulder width even. And of course, with the deadlift, you start nice and tall. Once again, ribs down. And all I mean by that is don't let your rib cage flare, because if your ribs are popping, that means your spine is arching, right? Makes sense. From here, I'm gonna push that butt back. So that's how I hinged over. I didn't bend in the spine. My spine remained neutral, right to the top of the head. I pushed the butt back, so that's the hip hinge there. So what I'm gonna do here, and this is a little bit of a tricky part, something I came up with, I just put my wrist right through the band. And then I grab the ball, which is my single weight here, all right, just like that. So I'm in this hinged over position. I'm gonna take a big breath into my core. I'm gonna bring those shoulders back. I'm gonna stay super tight in the core, all right? From here, I'm basically pushing the hips forward to get tall. So it's just the reverse of how I got down, right? So the hips are always initiating the movement with this Romanian deadlift variation. You notice the weight starts about shin height, doesn't start from the floor. I'm keeping the knees soft, but I'm not breaking at the knees, right? I'm just keeping them soft, legs mostly straight. From here, I'm gonna drive through the heels, bring those hips forward, and I'm gonna get tall, just like so, just like that. It's simple, right? So I'm just standing up, I'm not leaning back, I'm just getting tall. But what I'm gonna incorporate here is after I get to the top of that rep, that band really wants to pull me down, right? But I'm gonna go down slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, back up again, just like that, all right? So we're gonna do 8 of those, okay? I'm gonna start at the bottom, driving through the heels, and slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Slow, 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 slow. That's 6. Reset the breath as you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. Next time I'll show you the side angle view on that so you can get an idea of what it's meant to look like from that side. Basically, it's all about that neutral spine and that tightness. You're thinking lift with your legs. That's the idea there. Second one I got, a little bit of an upper body push exercise, for which, once again, I'm going to use the band and the ball. If you just want to work with a weight or just a band, that totally works. I'm just making things a little bit more intense for myself today. So what I'm going to do here, this is basically going to be a floor press, so a bench press type of thing, but on the ground, no bench, and I'm going to do it with one arm. But even though I'm doing it with one arm, I'm going to put both hands through this band. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to stick my thumbs through the band, I'm going to wrap it around, basically tuck it underneath the shoulder blades, right around the lats. That's where it's comfy for me. Get comfortable, absolutely. My upper arms are going to be about a 45-degree angle of my torso. You see that? So I'm not in here and I'm not out here, all right? Because that's a whole different deal. Now, I'm gonna lay on my back. However, I got the knees bent. And having the knees bent, just to show you what that does, when I have the knees flat, my back tends to arch up just a little. But having the knees bent allows me to stick those lower back ribs to the ground, and that's where I want them to stay, okay? Now, you notice I've only got a weight in one arm here, but I've got tension throughout that band because I put both hands through. I'm actually just gonna relax one hand, get it out of the way, but maintaining the tension on that band. I'm just gonna press with this one arm here, okay? So once again, that upper arm is with a 45-degree angle to my torso. All right, big bracing breath. I'm gonna press up to elbow lockout. just to here. That's it. But then I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way down. So nice, slow, controlled lower. Okay, folks, keep that shoulder blade on the ground. Don't reach up super high. Just lock the elbow out as soon as you can, okay? All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. Slow, 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 slow. Slow, 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 slow. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. That's the dangers of using a ball. Sometimes it rolls. But anyway, I got about 7.5 there. And you notice if you got both the band and the weight going, how much the resistance increases, but also how the resistance changes when you're slowly controlling that lower. Because of course, as the band tension decreases, the resistance actually changes. So you kind of have to adjust to that the whole way down, which is really cool and helps you strengthen yourself through that whole range of motion. Okay, we're going to do 8 on the other side, just the same way. A little bit of tension, of course, on that band to start. All right, in terms of where the weight is sitting, if you are using a ball like me, make sure it's sitting on the base of your palm, okay, so it's nicely supported by the forearm. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Locking up that elbow, slowly bringing it down. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. All right, that lower is quite tricky because right at the bottom it gets so easy. You just want to go like that. All right, the third of 3 here, and we are going to do 3 sets of each of these exercises, just so you know. This one is going to be a little bit of a glute bridge exercise, but I'm going to add some abduction, which is basically just that motion where your hips open. So it's these little muscles in here that open the hips. I'm going to step through my lower body resistance band. If you don't have one, it's actually totally fine. You can do a little bit of abduction without the band. This just increases the resistance, of course, and makes things a little bit more intense. Now, I'm basically in the same position I was for that exercise we just did, the floor press, but I'm going to lay this weight comfortably in my lap like so. And what I'm actually doing here is I'm driving through the heels, I'm keeping the core tight, my eyes down on my hips, I'm bridging up at the hips like so. So that's the glute bridge. So that's what I'm going to do there. As I bridge up, however, I want to push out with my knees, push out against that band. And if you don't have a band, just push out with your knees anyway. You're still gonna feel some work there. So we're going to do 8 of those. However, on the 8th one, the last one, we're going to stay up and we're going to do 8 of these. So we're going to do, you see I'm pushing my knees out, we're going to do 8 abductions there. In this up bridge position, you notice I'm basically a straight line from here through my knees, right? I'm not letting this happen. I'm also not doing this crazy stuff here. That's why I want you to keep the eyes down on the hips literally at all times. I don't want you looking up there because where you look, that's where you're going to tend to go. We don't want to bridge up too high and get the lower back involved, okay? So that's the idea here. It'll be nice and simple. We're not going to do a slow lower on this one, but we do want a nice controlled pace throughout. Okay, so core tight. All right, remember eyes down, drive through the heels. 1 and knees out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's stay up. 8 abductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. You notice you really got to squeeze those glutes when you're up in that top bridge position to maintain that tightness. It can't just be your core. You got to engage the rear muscles too, right? So that's why I like that one, because we hit all kinds of stuff at once. All right, let's take a little breather, and then we'll go back through that cycle of 3 exercises. It's going to be a little bit snappier this next time. Not that we want to rush our rest periods, but as I'll be explaining less, we will be going a little bit quicker, of course. This time, I'm going to show you from the side. Okay? So, This is our, say it's called our banded Romanian deadlift. Let's call it that. I'm going to step on this band, yeah. I'm going to put my wrist through said band like so, like little loopy handles, right? I've got the weight right up here. Now I'm going to push that butt back, get my back nice and flat. I'm going to get my shoulders back, see? So my shoulder blades aren't pulled forward. Shoulder blades back like so. All right, nice straight line to the top of the head. Make sure that midsection's not sagging. Tuck those ribs in. Nice tight core. From here, I'm driving through the heels and bringing the hips forward. Getting tall, and then slow on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Slow, 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 slow. Slow, 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 slow. We got 2 more. Last one. Relax. Did you notice the path of the ball? Like the path of the bar, the path of the dumbbell, doesn't matter what you're using, but it's straight up and down. It doesn't swing out in front of me, right? The reason is because I'm not bending at the back. I'm pushing the butt back. You see what happens there? Versus bending at the back, it swings out and then it comes back in. And that change in terms of your leverage and where the weight's at, that's going to mess your back up over time. So that's why we really want to focus on the hip hinge, all right? We're preventing low back issues, well, any back issues really. Okay, now it's time for our one-arm floor press. Once again, gonna get through that band. If you are using the band, feel free to just use the weight and just do a controlled one-arm press. What I like about this is it allows for a little extra core engagement because you have to keep that stability, right? You can't be kind of like leaning against it or leaning into the weight. We still want to be nice and flat here. So it's just more of a precision exercise. And also it's more challenging because we're only using one limb. Okay, so once again, upper arm, 45-degree angle to that torso. All right, nice, slow, controlled lower. Big bracing breath to start. All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow, 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 slow. That's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we're going to switch it up. Same thing on the other side here, folks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. That's 8. Let's relax. Get rid of this band. We'll switch it out for this band. All right. All I'm going to repeat here is please, please, please keep your eyes down on your hips. Keep the core tight and squeeze those glutes to the top, okay? All right, we're going to go for 8 here. Remember, we got 8 abductions at the end. We're pushing out with the knees every time, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Little breather. Then we got one more round, and that's it for today. If you feel like adjusting intensity on any of these exercises, be my guest. I'm not mandating what kind of weights you use or what tension on your bands that you use. I leave that stuff up to you. Just giving you guys ideas, showing you how to play around with things and sort of just get more out of the equipment that you've got. That's all. Okay. Once again, I think I'll show you from the side here. I'm going to step on this band. Take your time getting set up. I like to keep my stance pretty narrow, my feet pointing forward on these deadlifts. Everybody's a little bit different, but that's probably a good general place to start. Okay? Get that ball about shin level. All right, shoulders back, core nice and tight, sunlight blasting me directly in the face. Perfect. All right, from here, we're gonna push those hips forward, driving through the heels. Slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3. Slow, 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 slow. Slow, 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 slow. That's 5. Slow, 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 slow. 2 more. Last one. Let's relax. Nice job. Okay. One arm floor press. The last time. What I find tough with this band and the ball is actually a bit of a grip strength challenge going on, which is really cool. I always like to discover additionally challenging parts of an exercise based on the variations that I'm doing. A little extra bang for your buck, that's how I think of it. All right, so 45-degree angle with that upper arm, but this one, he's just gonna be chilling over here. Still looped, of course. All right, gotta get those knees up, core's nice and tight, back ribs down, let's go. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, that's 2. Just locking that elbow out, remember. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, same thing on this side, folks. Keep it simple. Just want to make sure that ball's not going to roll away on me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might notice I do comically large exhales on almost every lift. And as stupid as they may sound, that's good. And I want you to do that too. I want to hear those big exhales. That's important. Not just for your breathing pattern, but also for maintaining tightness. Okay? Now, I'm going to lay this in my lap once again. You know the drill. Eyes down, drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes at the top, pushing the knees out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's stay up for 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's relax, folks. That's it. Great work today. It is time to get your protein and transition into recovery. However you do that, whether that's through a little cool down, a little foam roll, which is probably my favorite way, or you just hitting some stretches. Make sure you do something, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, take care.